So thank you all for joining us today. We shall be formally starting our meeting now. Today we have with us the chairperson of SEPC, Mr. Manik Davar. To introduce him, Mr. Davar has been heading as the chairman of SEPC, which has been set up by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry to promote the services export. We all know very well how important SEPC is for at least the buying agents, as we're fully covered under the AGs of SEPC for all our work as a service exporter. Mr. Davar has over 38 years of experience.
No, sorry. May I say something? Let us dispense with that. The important part is SEPC, yes. And the important part is what we can do with, your association, and right. What SEPC is as of the moment doing, what is happening, and also, we have taken up your issues, and we will continue to do so. I'm sorry, I'm a little embarrassed when I'm, when there is some long description. This is just a CV meant for official purposes. So I think the key part is this, that BAA and BAA's office bearers have always been a part of SEPC for quite some time. Yes. We've had a lot of discussions. We've had a webinar also in the past. We had a lot of discussion pre-COVID, and I have been involved with SEPC for I think 7-8 years now, and I took over as the chairman in November last year. Unfortunately, all our plans have been derailed and majorly derailed because of the COVID, but we are proceeding. I must also here bring to the fact that the Commerce Ministry under the Commerce and Industries Minister Piyush Goyal has been very, very proactive in this.
I think we
lost him.
Lost Mr. Davar. Yeah.
So Anchal, as he suggested, we won't say much on behalf of BA.
Yeah.
We just say, I believe Christine and Mr. Davar enjoy a fantastic relationship. That's the reason we all here today. Correct. And we will simply take that forward from here.
I think we'll just talk about the the points, the straight to the points of business. Yeah.
So we all see each other's names, we see everything. So Anchal, just basically go ahead and start.
Abhay, can I request you to come forward with your presentation, although I wouldn't make it a long introduction. But Abhay is the Deputy Director General of SEPC and has been very actively liaising with BAA on all active matters.
Sorry is there, just to interrupt.
The Davar is back.
Yeah.
Sir, unmute yourself, sir, please. Sir, Mr. Davar, please. Yes, sir.
Again, I'm sorry, I was speaking from my phone and I got a call, so I got disconnected. So the minister and ministry has been very, very proactive in solving a lot of issues as whatever the export, the various industries and exports and various organizations face. And we have been having regular meetings, at least once a month. We have a WhatsApp group of all the EPCs. And last evening also, we had a meeting, which was after about a period of about 2 months or so. And the meeting went on for 3.5 hours yesterday. And I made a very strong point to the effect that while there is a lot of thought and lot of concentration on goods exports and merchandise exports, there is very little as far as service exports is concerned. And we are all quite disheartened by this because, the focus and all thinking is going towards merchandise exports. And I was a little strong in that. I even said that the DGFT, while he introduced the, when he was making his introductory remarks, spoke only about goods exports. Didn't say a word about services.
He completely ignored our sector, yes.
He ignored all services exports. And the minister was, kind enough to sort of say, in fact, the Commerce Secretary used the word that we apologize that, we have not really paid attention to the services exports as we should. And the ministry said that the services exports, what they are looking at, even in the worst case, this thing, that was 91% and 92% of the years before. And the secretary said that services exports has grown for the last 20 years, except for 2 years. So for 18 years, the service exports have grown by 7 to 10%. So, you know, the compounded annual growth rate will be somewhere around 18% of growth that the services exports, this thing, we have logged. So I think this was the time, again, we spoke of SEIS. As you know, that the government has reduced MEIS to a bar of up to 2 crores of rupees only. But in that 2 crores of rupees, about 98% of exporters are being covered, because most of them are in the small scale and medium and small enterprises. So, and we said that we will also require an appointment with the DGFT for our DDG, because I personally will not be able to travel anytime soon. And I'm really glad to say that, you know, because see what happens is that out of 3.5 hours that there are people are talking, because there are some 37, 38 export promotion councils, and we are one of them. So we barely get about 5 minutes. The minister also said that along with the Minister of State, Hardeep Singh Puri, they will hold a separate listing for services. And there was a huge concern of services like travel and tourism, services like hospitals, services like educational institutions. And the minister said this goes beyond exports. It is a very serious problem. And it is a very serious problem because all these industries, especially travel and tourism, and by that extension, restaurants and the entire hospitality and food and beverage industry, is a very large employer of people. So the government is also worried about employment, that people should not be without jobs and without their livelihoods. So this is the position. For the Buying Agents Association, the good news is that I think in a few sectors, like for example, exports of oil products, you know, petroleum products, and you know, connected to that, and gems and jewelry, which has seen a substantial fall of almost 50%. There is, you know, most of the industries are getting back to some growth. Things like pharmaceutical, of course, and you know, electronics, and so most of the industries are getting back to some growth, which should be a very good sign for you people as buying agents. So that is what it is as of the moment. Once again, I have to tell everyone that we are trying to do our best, but our strength is going to be in numbers. So I know that our fees may be a little, you know, they are whatever they are, but I would still say that we will certainly provide value to anybody who joins us, and the more members that we have, the more effectively we will be able to represent them as far as the government is concerned. And also, Dr. Sinha, our DDG, will also fill you up on the initiative that SEPC is internally taking, including being in touch with every single embassy and consulate, Indian embassy and consulate across the world. So with these remarks, I would like to hand it back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davar. Thank you so much. Indeed, we do know that you guys have been very, very helpful in promoting BAA, our members' interest, to the different ministries that are needed. And obviously, I'm sure Dr. Sinha has more to tell us. So I would like to invite Dr. Abhay Sinha, our Deputy Director General at SEPC, to come forward with this presentation, telling us more about what SEPC is doing to our members.
Thank you, Achal. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. In fact, as mentioned, like SEPC is gearing up to add more value to the services, and all the exporters and whosoever, even the startups, they should see value of the services provided by this council. And it goes beyond the schemes, which is definitely of paramount importance. There are certain other schemes as well, which somehow misses the sight at times, because we are because of a kind of communication gap or whatsoever. But this is a good opportunity to come across with your membership. And as Sir mentioned, that we definitely want people to be a part of SEPC to get those benefits, which are actually meant to for them through Services Export Promotion Council. And just to give an overview, these are the sectors which we cover. We talk about champion sectors, 12 champion sectors. Under SEPC purview, we have about 17 sectors, and all the champion sectors are a part of it. So the government focus is definitely on the champion sector, but at the same time, the ACI's benefit is also given to the other sectors mentioned on the left-hand side, which falls under the purview of the Services Export Promotion Council. Now, these are the services, like as a trade promotion agency. These are the services where we can add value to the exporters. Trade intelligence, which loosely can be called as market study, market information, export development. Here it is, competence development of any exporter, to train them, to counsel them about a given market, help them to study a given market for a strategy formulation, and optimize their value chain. Export promotion is one of the most integral and more visible part. Normally what you'll always note, trade missions, exhibitions, bilateral meet, all these are a part of export promotion. So these are more evident and more visible, but market study is also, market study, market information. They are also a very important services, significant services. When startups want to know about a given market, there we are of great help. And the last one, which is very important, and the entire discussion today started with that, enabling business environment in trying times or whatever, good times as well. We should have a policy, like a policy which facilitates the export. It could be the other way, the policies of importing country that might be a kind of tariff barrier or non-tariff barrier or any other kind of barrier, regulatory barriers. So those things. So council actually has the role to take into account all those regulatory policy inputs and insight, and accordingly facilitate the business, provide a good enabling business environment. So that's one of the key role which ACPC does and is gearing up to perform in the best possible manner. Like say, for example, foreign trade policy, which is going to be announced next year for another 5 years. So they're the inputs of the members help the council to recommend the policy formulation, the inputs for the policy formulation. And ACISR has mentioned that we are definitely working quite hard on it to get it continued or come up with alternative to ACIs. So that's just one part, but it has got many other features and gamuts to it. Based on the services that I just classified, we have actually undertaken many activities in the past, Barcelona Meet, events like GES, India Hills. So these events are a part of the council services to its members. Some of them are listed here. We also, the councils are also invited to be a part of any trade negotiations. So they're also advocacy on the trade policy, that becomes very important and significant. And it is all depending on the input what we gather. So that's why the number of the people becoming the member of the council or association or networking with the trade bodies becomes very important. So synergy has to be there, either directly by becoming the member or just being a part of the overall activity and network. This is a scheme which is very important, and some of them are, as your members are also diverse and they are members of other councils as well, they might be aware. But again, for the benefit of everyone, it would be a good idea to revisit them. And it covers mainly all the sectors, even the consultancy. This is very important and most utilized part of the scheme, where the council participates in the exhibition and a subsidy is given on the overall cost of the stall and other things. Besides reimbursement of airfare to exporting companies, that is normally some some limit is fixed. That depends. So this was actually like 1.5 lakh to rupees 1.2 lakh, like that only. Okay. And the share of the grant to the council, and 65% is being covered by the ministry under this grant, and 35% has to be generated. So that's how the fee which a member pays to be a part of any exhibition organized by the council is rather less, and that helps actually the members. This is a very interesting, like this was the limit right now. Earlier it was more, but any international travel undertaken for a council's organized program, there the members get this benefit. Individually they can't get, they have to be part of the program or event which the council organizes overseas. So 70,000 is the maximum ceiling for every country. For Latin America, because they are far away and the travel costs, so 1 lakh rupees for that. This is given through the council, and Ministry of Commerce under MAI funding provides this benefit. A proper annual plan is actually sent to them beforehand. RBSM, the event which the council did last time, and we are planning to have something more on sector specific as well, where we invite a lot of buyers from overseas market, screen properly, screen genuine buyer. So their cost of travel is also reimbursed, and that is 100% airfare and hotel. Of course, there is a ceiling to it, 75% and maximum 1 lakh rupees. So this is a huge benefit, which most of the councils actually take the benefit. And the benefit is, it enables the council to invite buyers. And that buyer, definitely interacts with the exhibitors. So benefit is finally passed on to the exhibitor in terms of the business meetings, number of business meetings. Cost is covered by the Ministry of Commerce. There are a few more which are very important. Display in international departmental stores. Normally, like this particular feature of the MAI scheme has been used by handicrafts and other exporter and other council. But in case of services, maybe some kind of concept display, those kind of thing we can think for future. So that's an idea. Publicity campaign is very much a part of the Ministry of Commerce program also. They also talk about a Brand India campaign on various sectors. On services also we are planning. So there the funding is available under Ministry of Commerce. These are all rooted through the council and utilized by the council, but the benefit accrues to the members of the council and the exporting community. A publication of world-class catalog. This is a very important feature. And you can see rupees 50 lakh per market per annum is earmarked. The proposal needs to be put forth before the start of every financial year. Ministry of Commerce comes with a notification for the councils to submit the proposals on the given provisions under this scheme. Normally, what we have noted that most of the councils have been submitting the proposal on RBSMs, BSMs, and exhibitions. These are equally important. Normally, I've not come across many councils submitting this. So here is an opportunity. One can come up with very innovative ideas and can submit a proposal through the council. The inputs can come from the members. Council will take it forward. Research and product are meant to for merchandise exports, but also for the services, some innovative ideas, startups. So there the benefit can be given. Ceiling is ₹1 crore. Huge funding is available. Proposal is required. Capacity building for upgradation of quality, setting up quality certifications, common facility centers, design center. When we try to develop some skill sets, there also this facility can be used. Some of the council like handicrafts or gems and jewelry have actually used it. I've seen Bricks Council, Plastic Export also has used it. For services, definitely our thoughts are there. We can combine the ideas under the overall, under the one umbrella of services sector. All the sectors can be covered and certain clusters can be developed under this scheme. Capacity building for exporters, training program, of course, like because of COVID, seminars and workshops are not being organized, but they can be done on virtual platform. But the funding is available, ₹50 lakh per project. And it also covers the cost of the course materials as well. Faculty can come, so their cost also can be covered under this. Then developing online portal. Normally the councils have actually developed the online portal from their own resources, but ministry also provides the funding support. And I've not seen like in my last council where I worked, we actually got ₹2 crore for a authentication portal, iVeda we call it, for pharma authentication, something on lines, how to authenticate the service exports. A different kind of portal can be developed in future, where credibility can be established. But right now, like Sir mentioned, like we are actually gearing up and we'll be coming up with our own digital platform, which will be very much robust, integrating all the features, including the virtual platform for B2B and other things, and very sector-specific information and input. All the points which I covered in the beginning of the slide, like trade intelligence, export development, export promotion, information, as well as some guided tools will be there to help people to generate reports. All those facilities will be there in the planned digital infrastructure, what we are, SEPC is currently gearing to get it organized and done. Market study also becomes very important. In past, councils used to get a lot of funding support for market study. But after that, there were some issues. But now again, because, dynamics of trade are changing. Every market is changing. There are new emerging areas. So for that, the knowledge is very important. Embassies contribute a lot of inputs to the councils, but a formal, a professional study is required to be done. So for that, the funding support is also available. And it's again, like, they have raised the support to ₹1 crore. Earlier, it was much less, about 25 lakhs only. Now, those are the benefits. These benefits can be provided indirectly, directly to the exporters if they become a part of the Services Export Promotion Council. So these are the fee, which may be higher, but in terms of the value which we can add, it's nothing, even for startups. And there are so much of support provided by the council through the Ministry of Commerce or the schemes, ACI's kind of a scheme or alternative scheme. These membership costs means nothing for any entrepreneur, for any startups, for even for the mature exporters, for new markets. These benefits are there. It's not only for the upcoming or new exporters or for the startups. Even for the policy advocacy becomes very important for the mature exporters. They are aware of the market. So basically they would like to increase their market share. So for them, the strategic issue will be the policy of any importing country. Market study on those policy regulations of formulation can help. So that's how, the benefit of being a member of the council spreads to all the cross-sections of the exporters and the benefits as you would have seen. So with these words, I conclude my presentation. Thanks for the patience hearing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sinha.
These are the initiatives we are taking, like
Right.
Exports Award and B2B. The newsletter, which is actually like coming up with a lot of inputs. In fact, in the beginning, our chairman mentioned about the information which we are getting from the MSCs. Immense kind of information we are getting. And we are in the process of tabulating them. In the upcoming edition, you'll have actually a very detailed report how to get the tender proceedings done in Nigeria. The entire process of procurement will be there. Some information will be there on Algeria. What are the sectors which are important? Likewise for Egypt. But Nigeria is the one where, the members can actually find a lot of input, how to get the tenders, and how to apply for the tenders. These are the information that the council tries to provide to the members. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dr. Sinha. Indeed, the amount of messages I've received personally, also on the open chat, you can see a lot of our members are very enthusiastic of what you shared right now. One question that I would definitely like to ask before we take up the question and answer from our members is that it's great to see the amount of benefits that can be passed to people who are a part of your council. But what is really the process of getting these grants as an individual member? So could you guide us through the process?
Yeah, certainly. You see, as an individual member, there are certain schemes like on the regulatory fee. But that is, I have noted that it is restricted to some engineering items, some chemical products, and in pharma. In pharma, in fact, it was for the product registration. In case some company gets a product registered, of course, after due process of FDA regulatory compliances, they get the registration certificate, and 50% of the registration cost. Maximum ceiling is up to 2 crore, which was actually earlier about 50 lakh only. So that is given. So that is a statutory provision in the scheme. EPC actually tried to get some of the regulatory fees covered under MAI. In services, we have not seen that, but it depends on the kind of regulation, and if regulatory fee can actually complement the efforts towards realization of export, then definitely Ministry of Commerce can provide those direct benefit to the individual. Another individual benefit which is already there, and I just mentioned, if somebody is participating in overseas exhibition, okay, and say for example, SEPC takes a huge space in some exhibition at any, say for example, in Europe, in any country. So the members participating under SEPC Pavilion will get the direct benefit of the airfare tariff, which will be covered, of course, with a given limitation of 70,000 and 1 lakh rupees for Latin America. So that is there. So that's a very direct benefit. Another direct benefit, which used to be earlier in case of MDA, Market Development Assistance, where even for the stall, say for example, a stall is costing 1,20,000. That stall cost, a part of those costs were also subsidized, 50% or 60% like that. But since that scheme,
Dr. Sinha, we kind of lost you.
Let's go ahead with it. I think its connection might be.
Yeah, it looks like. Okay, so while Dr. Sinha, I'm sure, will rejoin in a few moments with a better connection. So if members have any questions to ask, they can ask Mr. Davar in the meanwhile. So if there's any question that members would like to ask, you could please either raise your hands or you could type in your question on the chat box. We'll open the floor to everybody to chat. Does any of the GB members of BAA have any questions to ask of SEPC?
I believe quite a few questions were already written on the chat box. Until if you can pick up any one of them. And
Vishalji, they only asked for the recording.
recording, okay.
Yeah. So Tanuja definitely asked, we're running a buying agency. Please guide what advances we can take from government on our overseas payment.
Nothing.
I doubt, Tanuja, that is possible. But Mr. Davar, if you could take this up and throw a little more light, if there's anything that we are not aware of.
Can you repeat the question? What exactly is the question? Sorry,
Yes.
I didn't get it.
Yes, the member is saying that we are running a buying agency. Please guide what advances we can take from government on our overseas payments.
No, I don't think any advances that you can take from the government against overseas payment. Nobody can take advances from the government against overseas payment. It is only what you have with your banks that you can take. You can have facilities with the banks on your overseas payments. The government does not give you anything. Having said that, we have the ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, and we are in very preliminary talks. So ECGC largely covers risks to exporters, but those are again material exporters, goods exporters, and they also cover the risk of the banks to this exposure. So ECGC literally has 60% of its business coming from banks and 40% from individual exporters. So we have spoken to ECGC and asked them if they can extend this to the services sector. That payments of services sector payments can be insured with ECGC. Now that is going to take a lot of time. It's not going to happen overnight because ECGC has been functioning for the last maybe 60 years and has a very strong focus, and the systems and everything are geared to goods exports. But this is what we have asked. So you can't ask the government to give you any guarantees there.
Correct. In fact,
there was one more question, sorry, on SEIS.
Hanji.
Yes, that there is an issue. We had again brought it up yesterday. We are constantly following up. What we have suggested to the ministry earlier was that there be a cap of 5 crores with any individual, with every individual exporter, as you get about 5% in SEIS. So if you have 100 crore turnover, you will get 5 crores of rupees. That is the maximum, so that bigger organizations, bigger companies do not unnecessarily benefit. We had also said that 3 sectors, education, travel and tourism, and medical value tourism, be kept out of that purview, in the sense that if they get a little more, they should be allowed. And third, also, we had suggested that any entity which has more than 50% foreign ownership. Now, what has happened in the meanwhile is that the government has announced a cap of 2 crores for MEIS. So yesterday, again, we sort of said, look, do not discriminate. If you are giving 2 crores to MEIS, give at least 2 crores for SEIS.
SEIS as well.
Individual get up to at least 2 crores of rupees benefit. Now, the thing is this, that even in the past, the scheme, this thing for it has come out late. Once it came out in December, almost 9 months later. I've also pointed out yesterday that we are earn SEIS on net exports, not on FOB value. Second is that while goods exporters earn their MEIS on every consignment, right? As far as service exporters are concerned, we have to wait till the end of the year and file a consolidated statement.
Yeah, once you've done your balance sheet.
Yes. So the issue there is that we are again, in a sense, and that is maybe fair enough. But when you are doing this, then at least you ensure that the process is faster, it is quicker, and people do not have to wait for first, you will announce the policy. After you announce the policy, people will then have to, make the claims. And after the claims are made, they'll have to be verified. So another 2 or 3 months will go. So in this situation, we have suggested that they do hurry up with this SEIS benefit.
Right, right. Thank you, Mr. Davar. Indeed, it is very insightful. In fact, to also further answer Rajesh Sharma's question, where he asked, we are the buying agents and have applied for SEIS scheme for FY 18-19, but not issued yet. Rajesh, most of these, we'd floated out an email requesting on SEIS issues that were pending with our members. I hope you've submitted either to us or to SEPC, because SEPC is already discussing this with the DGFT to clear such issues. If you have not, then please do let us know, and we'll send across the form again to you so that you can report the issue, and SEPC will be taking it up. They've been very actively communicating on this with the DGFT, as Mr. Davar just said, that they are very actively talking to streamline this entire process of SEIS. Christine, you want to say something?
Yeah, on that subject, I just wanted to ask Mr. Davar, would it be possible to maybe get your members who have got their SEIS stuck, all the associations, to perhaps come and make a representation to the DGFT? Because if we're struggling, I'm sure other sectors are also struggling. And rather than us coming individually, that you call, you know, the Travel Association, the Buying Agents Association, all the other hospitality associations, and we could actually bring this up under your support with the DGFT, because it's stuck there, and it's definitely an implementation issue. It's completely
what had happened was before, in a separate discussion with SEPC and the DGFT, we had mentioned that a lot of the earlier claims have not been okayed by DGFT. DGFT said, they've worked on everything, and it's a regional issue. There's a Delhi office, there's a Mumbai office, and all. So we have communicated to DGFT all the complaints of the past. I'm not talking of 1920. Anything before that, wherever there have been issues, we have communicated to the DGFT. Now, the issue with DGFT is that they say that, look, in some cases, there is some amount of, either a misunderstanding or a misrepresentation. People are asking for SEIS under different, sections and all. And we said, look, whatever the confusion is, we just need to sort it out, because there is nobody who's going to, make a false claim on this. I mean, there are very, very, very few people who are going to make false claims on this, in the sense of providing you with false documentation of exports done, or exports, remittances against your exports which you have done. So nobody is really going to do that. And even if there are a few criminal elements, you cannot hold up the entire ecosystem because of that.
One or two bad apples, yeah.
You can't do that. So it is you see, the unfortunate part is, because of this COVID issue, right, we are not able to, I have not been able to come to Delhi. I have not been able to meet the DGFT. We've not been able to meet the Commerce Ministry officials. So those are the problems. But please convey, as Ms. Kansal said, please convey your past issues to us, and we will certainly take it up with DGFT. Somebody asked about SEPC's exhibitions and fairs.
Yes.
Now, what happens is this, that because of the, the numerous services that we have under our umbrella. First is that we have services which do not really lend themselves to exhibitions as such. Right? There is certainly interaction can be done, but it doesn't lead itself to an exhibition. The services like legal services and accountancy services, and they are not even supposed to advertise their services, so we cannot do that. Now, what we have done is that, as far as medical tourism is concerned, we have this India Heals, which we hold every year. As far as entertainment media is concerned and entertainment technology is concerned, we have an exhibition called NTech, which we have had every year. We have also now participating in in a small form of SATE, which is to do with travel and tourism. And we have, in fact, funded a part of it, and we are giving out space in a virtual exhibition to our members at no cost to them. We will bear the cost. And we have kept aside this year a sum of 5 crores of rupees from within SEPC for promotion of various activities, especially in stress sector. If the BAA has any sort of an initiative, including organizing a virtual buyer-sellers meet, or making a virtual platform, and we are anyway creating a services platform. But if they have anything of that nature, you can come to us, and we will see how we can fund the activity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dower. In fact, one of our members just also suggested, saying that if we could ask SEPC to organize a virtual fair for buying agents too, in addition to other services. To be very honest, it's a fact that except for a buying agent themselves going out and publicize themselves to the actual buyers, there is really no real platform where a customer across the world can look out for a buying agent. So we probably will get in touch with you on this and see if we can take this forward.
No, certainly I can assure you that if you were to make you see this virtual exhibitions also, I think they are, they are just a solution for the present times. I don't think, we are working with people and they say, look, this is just not going to work in the long term.
That's right.
Exhibitions have also been revenue earners for organizations. There are many organizations whose revenue comes from exhibitions and interactions and conventions and so on and so forth. So if the BAA has a very solid base and it can organize something, we will be willing to come in as a partner and we'll be willing to provide funds for it.
Right. Perfect. That's a great news, Mr. Dower. We are surely going to connect post the meeting on this particular point.
You must also realize that, services export is such a huge field. And
Correct.
if we take out IT, which is with, NASCOM and pre-COVID time, the rest of services exports amounted to almost $125 billion, right?
Correct.
So it was a very substantial, it's a very substantial sort of chunk of business, and that is the only thing which is continuously, as we said, is growing.
Correct.
But the fact is this, that you see, in one of our earlier interactions, again, we had one interaction with only our services with the ministry, with the minister and the ministry. And at that time, somehow this thing did not come through, and we were a little not very happy with the way we were sort of, the comments which were made and what appeared in the papers the next day. So in a subsequent meeting, I did bring this up and I said, look, we are really very upset because, what came in the papers was a little sort of an attack on the service exporters. And the minister said, please understand one thing, that we are really very, very happy with service exports, because service exporters are those who never come to the government for anything. You see, the goods exporters continue to go to the ministry. We need this, we need this, you need to do with China, you need to do with Vietnam, you need to do with Sri Lanka, you need to look into this, you need to look into that. So their demands are huge.
Correct.
Whereas we have no demands.
No demands.
Literally, except just give us our SEIS, give us our benefits, and we will. So he said, we don't want government. But he said, why do you want government to interfere? Why do you want government support for anything? Right? You do what you have to do. So, that is what it is. So what I'm trying to say is that let the BAA do what it has to do.
Right.
We and SEPC are quite stretched. We are expanding. We are going to put special units in charge of, major exports like travel, tourism, health, education, and so on and so forth, which require a lot of attention. but you are individuals who are pushing your own business. Okay, so as far as those sort of services are concerned, you should come to us and say, we want to do virtual, we are going to do this, we are going to do this, we are going to do this, and how are you going to support us? And we will support you because we have the funds. To give you an example, we have had an MOU with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India.
Right.
And we had a webinar, and there were 5,500 participants from ICAI, from all over the world. You know, so obviously the ICAI is a completely different organization, and it is one of the strongest professional bodies in the country. But we would really be glad to associate with organizations like yours who are representing the entire buying agents community. Okay, and whatever that you want to do, with set targets of how you can improve your business, how you can take your business forward, right, with whatever help you require. And that help, it is going to be easy, even if I may say so, apart from whatever other communication methods and all that we can help you with, we can certainly help you in writing a check to subsidize a part of the costs. And also another thing is this, that some part of the cost you must recover from your members.
Right.
Your membership must have a stake in their own success.
Absolutely. Otherwise, the money has gone to waste. I mean, we've always seen that free जब मिल जाता है तो उसकी कोई value नहीं होती. So we don't want to do that.
Sure. But overall, whatever you require to promote it, you require to do this, we are willing to give you assistance on that.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Mr. Davar. I mean, indeed, it is extremely heartening for us to see the way you are going all out to support BAA and all of its members. So all people here who are yet not part of SEPC and maybe or may not be a part of BAA, we want you to join both the organizations. Dr. Sinha has given you a complete run-up on what exactly SEPC can help you with. People who want to join BAA, you can definitely come up and ask Ankit to send you details on BAA's membership. We would like you to come up, be a part of our organizations. As Mr. Davar very rightly said in his initial speech, it's all in the numbers. The more we are together, the better we can perform and negotiate our way forward into the industry. So much from us, Dr.
Can I say something?
Hanji.
Further to what I said, I think, pardon me if I say something which is obvious, but I think the first thing what you're required to do, and you know, we are not at SEPC, we are not just coming for just membership as such. Correct. What we would like to do is that the BAA become a completely representative body of all buying agents.
Correct.
Right? The BAA can become the body for all buying agents, representative body, if the BAA itself is very active.
Correct.
Right? So once the BAA gets active and people see the value of BAA, right, then the second step will be that we have to join SEPC to get our benefits, to get whatever that we need to do.
Absolutely.
And for BAA to be effective, SEPC is willing to partner it, right, for its activities. But those activities, BAA must initiate.
We understand that completely. Absolutely, Mr. Davar. I mean, again, I would say we're totally in sync with you, and we truly respect and appreciate your gesture of help and partnership to all of us here today. Anything to add, Dr. Sinha, from your end?
Has he joined back?
Yeah, he's very much here.
In fact, I missed a lot of things, but anyway, I could join in time on the connectivity issue. No, I was actually answering that. And one more point I wanted to make, you know, the portal which we are developing, you know, it will be actually a platform for initiating the interaction with the global buyers, business visitors. So, you know, there, and what Sir just mentioned, if there are ideas and input, BA can partner, can initiate certain activity points, then, you know, the kind of integration what we are planning can actually lead to a great result and more network. And as mentioned, like if they partner with BA, indirectly they are partnering with us. So with these words, I believe like we need to move ahead with all the suggestions and inputs gathered today.
Super. Super. Thank you so much, Dr. Sinha. I think it's very exciting what you both have just said today. I believe it is same for all our members. If any of our members have any questions and would like to ask now, you can please unmute yourself or raise your hand and we'll unmute you and you could ask. I think there's not really much questions left anymore. May I ask our chairperson, Vishalji, if you could close the meeting?
I actually, frankly, would not like to close the meeting. Mr. Dower has been so interesting out here with his conversations. And Mr. Dower, thank you for all the knowledge you shared with the team out here. Actually, that was the most engrossing part. It's not only the SEIS benefits, but the way you shared it, you explained it to all of us, and we actually got it around the first time. So that is what I can say on behalf of BAA. And thank you both, Mr. Dower and Mr. Sinha. And Anchal has already put it in as many words that I believe everybody has really understood what you told us. And we will obviously seek your help again and again and come up, say, with the proposals as BAA to be under your guidance and help our members. Again, not only SEIS, but other benefits also, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir, for that, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Indeed, the first meeting is wrapped up on time, so we're very excited about this as well. So 1 hour and we are done with so much of information packed in.
No. Next time, we'll give most time to Mr. Abhay Sinha and Mr. Dower, and we'll just listen. That's what we should do, actually.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dower. Sir, aapke baat, haan.
I believe Mr. Dower is on mute.
Yes.
No, now I just want to say that let this not remain at a discussion stage. I think we have spoken enough.
Yeah.
Right now, the ball is strictly in BAA's court. We will do what we have to with DGFT. We will follow up with SEIS. But to get the BAA under the able leadership of Vishal ji and Anchal ji and Christine and all of you, we really look forward to being a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Jawad. Thank you, Dr. Sinha. Lovely to have you here today. And thank you everybody who joined in on the conversation today and was a part of this extremely knowledgeable session, I would say. Thank you all for being here. And we'll definitely come back with more such sessions and definitely suggestions from BA to SEPC that can help all of us together as an industry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening and a great weekend. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.